Hello, everybody, and welcome to another About It adventure. This one's going to be a little bit different. We actually went to North Georgia this past weekend before this video came out, um, and had a heck of a weekend. Um, so, this one's going to be some video with audio recorded over it. Some of it's going to be video using the same audio from the video. But it just depends on whether or not I decide to let y'all just hear us talk, or if I just need that video to, fill a blank screen so I can talk. Um, but anyway, this week's joke: what do you call a witch's garage? Um, this is actually Saturday. We took a trip. It was Friday through Monday. So this is actually Saturday. This is Amicalola Falls, and this is the top of the falls. It starts off as a creek and then just drops off the mountain. This is Saturday afternoon. We go to a winery. There's a storm rolling in, so there's rain off and on, so you can kind of see the clouds moving over the top of the mountain and just rolling, and it's very beautiful. Um, but then Saturday night things start to change. Around about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I get an alarm on my phone, and it's the Weather Channel. It's a tornado warning. So in our little cabin, we all jump into the laundry room and just kind of bunker down till the warning goes away. So we all go to bed that night. About 1:30, I get that very scary Amber Alert noise. But it's not an Amber Alert. It's a flash flood warning. So I'm up every hour because the sensor I was watching updated every hour. And then when NOAA figured out how quickly it was rising, they decided to change it from 30 minutes or from an hour to 30 minutes. So this picture here is when it started getting scary. This was 1:45 in the morning, and it was 12.98 feet. This picture here is 2:45 in the morning, and it's 16 point something. It's a little blurry for me the way I'm reading it. And that's not very much a time difference. So this is the sensor I was watching. It was less than a mile as the bird flies, but it was actually quite a drive to get to that bridge. But if you look on the left hand side, there is historic crests. And as you see, the very top one in 1963 was 20.55 feet. That is the highest this sensor has ever recorded since 1963. And you see, 20.30 and 73, 18.83 and 67, so on and so forth. And you have the recent peaks just below that. But on this particular night, which was October 10th, 2020, of course, it beat this record. And this is the screenshot of that. Like I said, I was getting up every 30 minutes because that's when NOAA figured out, hey, this is climbing pretty fast, we need to watch it. They started updating every 30 minutes instead of every hour. And this was the highest it got, 20.63 feet. Granted, that's 0.13 inches more, but still, 2020, again, of course, set the record for this sensor. And this was at 6:45 a.m. on October 11th, which is the Sunday, this past Sunday. So about 6:45, 7 o'clock, the sun starts to rise. And when the sun starts to rise, you start seeing stuff, of course. So I decided to go outside and just have a look. Now, what you are about to watch was actually recorded at the cabin we were staying at. So if I've repeated myself, I do apologize, but this was recorded at the time. I kind of wanted to give you a story with the pictures and stuff like that, so that's what I'm doing. So you've seen Saturday, you've seen the beautiful videos, and this was Sunday morning, so I just wanted to share it with y'all. So if I repeat myself again, I am sorry, but I hope y'all still enjoy.
Well, guys, when we got here Friday, this was a beautiful river, but 8 to 10 inches of rain fell last night. Had a tornado watch at like 9:30, 10 o'clock. At 1:30, my Amber Alert alarm goes off, but it's a flash flood warning. And this river has it's measured just downriver from us a little bit, where another river joins in. The record high ever recorded was in 1963, 20.55 feet. At 6:30 a.m. it recorded 20.63 feet. It rose. It was 0.08 this morning, or well, yesterday morning it was 0.08, and this morning it is 20.63. So 2020 yet again has, set a new record of crap it's dealing with. But you can see where the water got to. It got all the way up here last night. And what's crazy, last night we got home at like 5 o'clock. There's an island right there I was standing on. And then about right there, it wasn't even waist deep. I was standing there. There's another island here that you can stand on. But I mean, I can't even see the edge. That bush right there. Me, Judah, and Mama were standing there. And then that bush over there, I could stand on and look down at the river, and now the river's at that. So and there's an entire tree floating through. And this water was clear. It was green. It was so clear. And now look at it. Dark as dark can be. I mean, just look at this. That's on land. There's actually a grill over here. Yep, grill's underwater. That tree and that grill are supposed to be above water. So this is 7:35 a.m. on Sunday, October 11th. So we don't leave until Monday the 12th. So we get to watch to see what happens to this water by the end of the day and by tomorrow the 11th. That's one of the many creeks that feed the river. I don't know if y'all can see that, but every step I take, I sink. At one point in time this morning, that water level was all the way up here. $9.22. There's a kayak out there we're hoping doesn't have anybody in it. Alright everybody, 10:22. You can start to see that rock appearing where it drops off right there. From this, it'll drop off. A rock I was standing on yesterday is starting to appear. That land is starting to appear right there. Kayak appeared. Luckily there was nobody in it at the time of it landing here. Grill is accessible again. But it is starting to slow lower because that rock right, sorry, that rock right there is starting to appear. And with where that kayak is sitting, full of water, even if it did fall at some point, it's on land enough, I should be able to go get that today. I'm going to try and find information on it, see if there's an owner's name on it, see if we can contact them. If not, we'll figure out what we do from there. I can't believe I was standing there last night. Right there at that rock. Alright guys, so this is actually several hours later. Like, I think the last video I recorded and I said to y'all, I think it was something like 10 something. I ended up going back up onto the porch that you saw in the very first video in the first couple seconds. You see me walking up to a railing. I ended up just pulling up a chair right there and I actually fell asleep. It may be fast moving, but it still sounds so beautiful. We ended up actually going down to that creek. The creek video that I showed you a couple minutes ago was actually just before this, not long before this. And I wanted just so badly to go get that kayak for my stepmom, because this is just the kind of stuff she loves to do and she's always wanted one, and heck, if it's free, you know, that's cheap kayak. So I decided to try and wade out there, because as you can see, it's only waist deep, but only waist deep when water's moving that fast, as I find out right here as I'm telling my mom. I can't get out. As I was facing the kayak walking out, I'm actually standing on a rock, and I realized, oh crap, it drops from here. And I knew that, and I thought the water level was lower than that, because as you can see, those rocks in the background are quite a bit higher out of the water. So I was like, oh, it's, you know, it's not that deep. Well, even so,
like I said before, not that deep in slow moving water and not that deep in this water are two totally different things. So there for a second I couldn't get turned around. I finally get turned around. I told Mama, I said, I can't come back to you because again it was a step down. Um, Up is easy. Down in that kind of stuff, it was very difficult, and that walking stick was all I had. Um, so when I told Mama, "Hey, I can't get out," I stabilized myself, and they're actually scrounging to find something to get me out. I almost fell right there. I almost went under. It was very close. Um, so we ended up actually going to get this water hose because that was the only thing long enough to reach me and get me out. And I have the life jacket on, I have the helmet on. I know if I go under, feet up, downstream. That's the safest way when you go whitewater kayaking, whitewater rafting. They tell you if you fall out, feet up, downstream. That is the best way to live. Um, so what I'm doing right here, I just ended up, one side of the hose is tied to a tree. So the hand that you see coming in and out of the top of the video, that's Mama's hand. If I become too much weight or the current makes me too much weight and Mama needed to let go, I told them to tie it to a tree because I would rather be tied to a tree and slammed against the bank than not tied to a tree, pulling Mama in with me without a life jacket on and having both of us going downstream. So what I ended up doing here in just a second, right now I'm just trying to figure out, okay, I'm stable. I threw the walking stick up on the shore. I'm stable. I'm using Mama. You'll see it tension. You'll see it move. She actually right there, as I'm saying right there, she gave me too much slack and I almost fell in again. So I was telling her, don't give me slack. Just keep it tight. When I go, just hold it. And I'm paying attention to the water because at my waist and at my knees and feet, it's 3 different levels of force. So I'm getting hit at different times by different currents, and it's very weird. But it was a cool experience. I wasn't scared because I knew, again, feet up, downstream. Like, I had the life jacket, I had the helmet. They tried going and getting a kayak, realized they couldn't hold the kayak in the current. They went and got a paddle to try and give me something to grab onto. So we went through a whole few different scenarios. I think at this point everybody's out there. Jamie and AJ are there in the video. Mama is holding me. Rosie is holding the knot that is tied around the tree just in case, because it's a water hose. It's not a rope. It's not meant to be tied in a knot. But it's an old enough hose that it did. So Rosie is holding the knot, and then Noelle is up at the picnic table holding Judah. Judah ended up actually watching me do this. And for those of you who don't know, Judah's my little brother. But anyway, I told them just forget the kayak, put the oar back. I'm just going to drop, and I just want y'all to grab me. So this is my final thought, paying attention to the current under my feet. Actually just telling myself, look, I'm protected, I'm going to be okay. Letting them know if something happens, just let go of the slack. But this is right here where I'm telling Mama I just want to be slammed against the bank rather than just let go. And we only ended up actually being out here for, I think Mama said it was only like 12 minutes. But 12 minutes from the time I got into the water till the time I got out is a lot when you've got
that much current beating you and you're trying to use your legs to stand up. So this was my last little thought process. Everybody's just waiting on me. I actually think I asked Rosie to take up some of the slack because there was a lot between Mama and the tree. So I put a lot of risk in that, because if Mama would have slipped or I would have slipped and Mama would have tried to catch me, she probably would have went in. But I told Rosie to take up the slack around the tree and tie the knot again. Because again, I'd rather be slammed against the bank than sent down river. So they took up all the slack, and that's what it's doing right there. And once they were done, I settled my feet again, paid attention to what was going on. And then once I was ready, I just ended up picking my feet up. I floated right to AJ. I had just enough slack to float right to AJ and Jamie. They pulled me out. Once I was on the land, because some of it was still underwater, I told AJ, get up and move, because I didn't want to accidentally pull her in. Because again, no life jacket, no helmet. So once I was on the land, I told them to move so that I could actually get up. And that was the end of it. So there's Rosie and AJ with the kayak and Jamie. So, Mama asked me how does it feel, and I told her it was cold. And this was our celebratory picture of me getting out of the water safely. And this was later again in the day. I think I went in at like 4:30. I think this right here was maybe 5:30, something like that. These guys kayaked by, saw the kayak, and one of the guys wanted it. So this was just me talking to them, trying to figure out their game plan, whether or not they were going to take it, give it to us. I was kind of hoping for the second part, but one of the guys actually wanted it, and he lives up there. So I was like, you know what? If you want to brave and go get it, you can brave and go get it. So he actually ended up coming back, and we tried to throw a rope. We considered tying him off, but he didn't feel safe with that because he didn't want to get wrapped up, and I completely understood. But then he ended up going upriver, jumping in, and swimming. Yeah. And then he couldn't throw the rope back to me because that rock I'm standing on, it's actually like half a foot to a foot to the water from there. So he kept throwing it short, and I didn't want to fall in. And it's not during this video, it was actually later. It was dark when he decided to do this. But we couldn't get the rope across, so he ended up swimming the kayak back. God was definitely with him.
Alright guys, this is the last video we're going to have here. As you can see, the river has not changed much. The kayak has, because kayakers came by and tried to take it, but they said they were going to come back for it. But this is the last I'm going to see of the river this trip. We just got told to evacuate. There's a dam north of here that's got a hole in it the size of a car, and it may break. And it's a 25-acre, maybe more, lake, and they said we'd be flooded out and they can't get to us to save us. So we're packing up. 2020 has been a heck of a year. So I guess tonight we're gonna have to find a hotel or something. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep y'all updated.
Well, guys, 2020 has been a heck of a year, hasn't it? So what actually ended up happening was we decided to just go home. So it was like 8 o'clock by the time we left. As you can see here, it was still daylight when I recorded this. When that kayaker came by, it was dark. Like, I have a super bright flashlight. One of those where when you can adjust the beam of light to pinpoint or broad. And I have one of those where when you close it to the pinpoint, you can see the LED square. Like, it's not a circle, it's the LED square that you can see out on whatever you have it pointed at. So I had it just broader than that so that I could see the kayaker, because he literally just jumped in, went across. We couldn't get the rope. He swam back with the kayak in his hand. God was definitely with him. It was very scary to watch, and I almost had to just leave him because everybody was packed up and ready to go. We didn't want the day. Sorry, dam to break, and us be stuck there. So, because we didn't have anything planned for Monday except to drive home, except for me and Jamie, but that's not a part of this story. Well, I guess it kind of is. It's my channel. So Monday, well, first we drove home. 8 o'clock at night. Drove the 5-ish hours home. We didn't get home till like 1 o'clock on Monday. And Monday morning, we were supposed to have engagement photos. And Monday night, we were supposed to meet with our wedding coordinator. Neither of those happened. So we've got to plan another date to do that. But I ended up, just because I was curious, the past couple days, I kept watching the sensor, and it just kept going down. The dam never broke. Jamie was doing research and said apparently it was a, what did she say? I guess accident, like, I don't know, but they said they had it under control. Whether or not they actually do, I don't know. I doubt we'll hear anything because we're so much further south than them, unless it's just catastrophically bad. But anyway, so we ended up driving home, and that's what this next photo is going to be of. The 1 o'clock picture of us getting home. Alright guys, so yeah, that that was our weekend. 2020 has been a heck of a year. I know some people have gone through worse things. I mean, I watched a video the other day, someone's house, their basement actually flooded. I think they're more west than us, but you know, everybody's got their different struggles this year, and everybody's got their different struggles each year. But, you know, if you're watching this video and God got you up this morning, it's a blessing. And that's what I tell myself. You know, if I'm awake, it's a blessing. If I'm alive, it's a blessing. And I thank God every day for each blessing He gives me. But, so that was this week's video. It was definitely more stressful towards the end, but it was still a fun weekend. We are going to reschedule it to do it again when, you know, things settle down a little bit. But that was this weekend's adventure, and it was a wonderful adventure between the winery, the waterfall, the rushing river. It was a great weekend, and I'm very grateful that my parents let us tag along again. Because it's so beautiful up there and relaxing up there. But anyway, what do you call a witch's garage? A broom closet. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this week. I do thank y'all again for joining me on another Valdez Venture. I hope y'all join us next week, and I hope y'all have a blessed day.